Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to let you know our course is now underway for crypto trading. I'm going to show you why you want to learn it in a sec. So if you want to learn about crypto trading, starts this Monday, November 1st. Content's available. You will get access to a lot of stuff. I'll go into it in a little bit. And let's get over to the screen to show you what's going on with the mainstream and see how crypto's doing. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I hate Yahoo Finance, but there is one thing that's useful. It's just this view. It's free on Yahoo Finance. So here you can see that the 3-4 indices are either down, with the exception of the Dow, up slightly a little bit. Crude oil is up 0.5%. Gold is down quite steeply, -1%. Silver's down as well, -0.81. Euro USD down. 10-year bond is down. Pound against the US down. US dollar against the Japanese yen. Let me go over to the foreign indices. So here you got the FTSE down -0.1 and the Nikkei's up 0.25%. So let's look at Bitcoin right here. It's up 3.8%. So that is the strongest out there, as well as the crypto is up 0.85. Let me explain something. There's a reason why I do this, because I want to compare crypto overall versus these mainstream assets, be it forex, commodities, market indices, bonds, whatever. Crypto is easily going to outperform everything by beyond a long shot. When people go on about volatility, let me tell you, even you net out that volatility, you will still be up like an incredible amount. And that's that. That's all I can tell you about crypto. And just as an example, in 18 days, I've doubled my portfolio in 18 days, and it's verified. You can just watch my other videos, and you can watch that. All right, so let's get back over to our screen here. Let's get into MotorWave. Okay, so here we've got Australia US dollars doing quite well, actually. Rallying since October. I guess that's since the economy's opened up. Canada Japanese yen's up. Okay, now when it comes to Brent crude, you can see that spike here since September 9th or so. And then it's just spiked up to 86, and it's come up and then flattened out. This could, I think, is probably maybe hit its peak, because once oil hits a certain price, people stop consuming it because it's too expensive, and whatever they're trying to do as an input cost, big oil gets too expensive, and they start losing money on their processing. So even with drivers, they may drive less if the gas prices get too much. I saw the prices in California. It's absolutely bonkers. But what do you expect in a socialist government? So here we go with the Sweden. You can see that decline there. Usually that's an indicator when the markets strengthen. USD, Mexico peso's doing better, I guess, but it's all over the place. Now here comes gold. Here comes gold. And you know me, I like my 1 month charts here now. I've just started using these. These are looking really good, but up until January 2020, July there, you can see that big spike. It's come off a little bit, but even when you compare outside of what happened in 2009, gold has come off, flattened out. Now, this is probably not the smartest way to hold. I would put a little bit of a portfolio into it, maybe 5-10%. Because this thing kind of will tie up your capital when you can deploy that same capital into something much higher performing, as in crypto. So here we go with the currency comparisons of all of the where to put gold in and what currency. So let's say if we look at the gold in Hong Kong, you can see that big spike there. That's due to the economy in Hong Kong, and generally has declined since, but this is a big difference. And I bet you if you look at gold in Singapore, you could say the same thing. So don't think that if you hold gold in whatever currency, you can see these massive spikes. We're going from 1400 to over 2,600 in a very short period of time. And then, you know, as I said, in the summer, last summer, it's dropped off quite a bit. So here's the Australian 200 market. I think this market, this index has been kind of not slaughtered, but it's looking pretty good now. This is starting to perform a little bit. I think the US is still pretty strong. Australia, Hong Kong dollar again. Let's do a comparison between the Australian, Hong Kong, and Australian USD. You see this rally here with Australia US dollar. So let's do the monthly here. You can see here it's just all over the place. Bit of a rally, starting to spike there. So you can see that holding currency is not the best idea. But then let's look at the 1 month, just as a comparison. And you can see it's really not a smart idea. Okay, China is an interesting one. I think this is starting to come back a little bit. I'm hearing that there is some pandemic problems in China again. So it's starting to spike. So this thing's not going to die off, this sickness thing. I have to be careful of my words because YouTube likes to monkey around with my... Well, I'm already shadow banned, so it doesn't matter, right? So, again, monthly view. Let's check it out. See, that's pretty good, but look at the last 2 months here. This could start to spike, and you could just... If it's true that the U.S. markets start to tank or correct, China may be a good place to hide out. Now, I'm not, you know, if you're going to accuse me of loving China, you got to be an idiot. I'm a capitalist. I go wherever the money opportunity is, right? Euro, DKK, Euro, Pound, ooh, declining there. Britain is not as strong as you'd want it to be. The Deutsche 10-year bond is declining, which is good, showing strength in their economy. Hong Kong Japanese yen flattened out. Let's see, the monthly, it's a good reflection of just Asia trading and overall. Well, that's not so bad, but it's been very flat for the last probably 5 years. Anyways, I'm going to give up on these, but here's an interesting one, is USD Thai baht. Here we have this rally between early September till about we are looking at end of September, and it's stabilized. That is because the economy is starting to open up after the global sickness. So this is all tourist dollars that are being affected by that. But again, look at the monthly view here. So this is starting to rally. That's just an interesting one. But now let's take a look at the bonds here for the U.S. 2-year drop in, 5-year same. This is a reflection overall of what's going on in the U.S. market in terms of credibility. It's been moving on up, and then it's been just dropping off. Let's look at the 2-year as well. Yeah, so it's been steady, flat. This is all the global sickness trade from last year in 2020. USD Swiss franc drop in, same in the, oh actually no, USD Japanese yen is more stable lately. But let me get off of these crypto coins. Okay, soybean, the first agriculture. How's this doing? Really flat. Now, when I talk about always this inflation talk, this is a bunch of bollocks. Well, I shouldn't say that. The product is dropped actually. If you look again at the monthly view for soybean, you can see where it did spike. So there was inflation in the price there, and that's up until I believe in March. And then it's dropped off. Okay? So if you were trading that, you would go up from $8 to $16 up in the last year. So when you have this drop now, that's price. That's wholesale price for this product. And it's been dropping. Where the inflation kicks in, which I believe is manufactured thanks to the wonderful U.S. government, and we'll leave it at that. They're purposely causing all these shortages and, you know, drivers quitting, truck drivers quitting, and all that. So that's where you're paying. It's nothing to do with the actual product itself. And of course, the stores will charge it too because they'll use the excuse. Here's an interesting compare pound against the Polish, rallying slightly since September 9th. Okay, so that's an interesting trade there. Starting to rally a little bit. Economically, it would make sense because both countries need each other since they're in disputes with the good old fat cats of the EU. Again, let me get off of these really questionable currency pairs. Deutsche 30 we've already covered. Starting to rally. So this is doing a little better than the U.S. from what I'm seeing. We'll check that. Let me check that first before I make that statement. Oh, actually, you can see the big steepness here up until this October 26th, and it's flattened out. Here we have flattened out, but we had a nice boost. I believe, well, last 13 o'clock. So I think the U.S. is still the best investment out there for the U.S. markets. Here's Germany, really steady, okay, but when you look at the SPX 500, S&P 500, check it out. It's a huge difference on the monthly view. Just a steady increase, and since that global sickness kicked in, look at that. That's the Fed going crazy, and that's what's driving the wealth gap pretty well worldwide because of the extra liquidity that investors like, a good example, Kiyosaki, who just buys real estate, buys buildings on zero interest, and be able to get into real estate like complexes and get into rental generating income. Now, from my point of view, I think stocks are better, but whatever. Now, when you compare that again, to the UK 100, it's very flat. This is very glaring, because you would think that the UK would be right behind US in terms of performance. Look at this. Steady increase a little bit, real big drop off in this period here of January, December 2019, all the way down to where it reverses in March. I guess that's the Brexit trade, and it's kind of just recovering from that. Okay, here we got France as well, another good comparison, rallying a little bit there. Let's look at the 1 month. Same thing as France, but when you look at these pullbacks compared to the U.S., very little pullback. That's because of the amount of liquidity in the country. So obviously, I don't know when the piper will want to be paid for all that extra debt being issued. That's hard to say. I think that's why they're lining us up for the great, from the Davos group. Okay, so we've gone through the Brent crude, France, USD, Japan we've looked at. UK, Norway is really disappointing. Government changes does this all the time. It looked pretty good for a while, and look what happens. It's been in decline since. Really big disappointment. You think that this would be the place to go during the global sickness, and it's not really done all that well for the U.S. Norway. Let's look at the Swedes as well. In decline there. Very, I don't know. Gold again. Gold. I don't think it's the best one. I mean, if there's going to be a panic, it might spike, but I do think that crypto will probably even spike more. Here's an interesting one. We got some silver. So, okay, we've talked about this one. Very important is gold-silver ratio. So it's starting to creep up a little bit there. On the monthly view, it's starting to creep up, drop back. It's all related to where the economy's at. Don't forget, when you have the U.S. debt, once again, coming up in late November, early December, to talk about and continue to kick the can down on the debt levels and the debt ceiling and all that, this will go up and then drop back, because now the U.S. government will start to issue more into the economy. And that's where the really wealthy will, as I said, the investors will start putting money to work buying up probably real estate. Silver as well. Silver in Australia. I think we looked at the Australian. So here's a monthly view. We had some nice spikes here in summer of last year, but it's been very flat since. Here's the Canadian dollar, slight rally there with a monthly view here. Same thing as the Canadian. Euro. Let's look at that monthly here. Same pattern. It's just these are not the best places to put your money long term, to tie it up and hold it when you could deploy it elsewhere to get better performance. You know where that is. And it's digital related. Okay, continuing along here. What else do we have here? China 50. I think we already talked about that, but what I do think, if you do want to put money into, I think China, based upon, you'll get some nice rally here, 1200 to 1800. I mean, that's 1/3 of like 30% rally. So if the U.S. markets go off or come off, that's probably a good hiding spot. But again, it depends upon the global sickness of China. Germany. Okay, this one's a real surprise. Was a surprise, I should say. Look at this big rally here from early August 19th all the way up to October 17th. That's a good 2-month rally. It's starting to decline now. That's the India 50. See, this is the one where people lose out on. So here at the reversal here, we're looking at, let's say, an open price of 1640. It's gone up 10%, but as you know, we can get that in the digital space overnight, right? But if you gotta put money into a market, this was a good one. So let's look at India. Wow, it is just spiking like crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So now you know where to go long term if you want to get some really good performance. Japan, another one. Slight increase there. The 1 month view, very flat, very choppy. No. Singapore, I think Singapore is a big disappointment for people. Got a little rally here for Canada. Singapore. Thailand. Okay, Thailand's another important one. This one has so much potential. Look at that. Boom. Big, steep. And it barely got affected by the global sickness. Really steep, but look at what's happened recently. This is due to China sabering the rattling the sabering, whatever. But just going on to beating those drums of war. Look how it's affecting Taiwan. I think politically that China wants the chip manufacturers because Taiwan's probably the leading in the world for that. They want to monopolize that, and U.S. is probably going, no, you can't have it, so we're going to defend Taiwan. So who knows where that will go, but I do think that has impact. You can see it pretty well in the Taiwanese market here. Okay, UK 100, I think we already looked at this. Big disappointment there, very little result. US 2000 Russell, slight rally, very choppy. Let's check out that monthly view. Again, you can see where that potential there as a defensive for the microcaps, and look at it's flat over the last couple of months. So that's probably started in May. Meanwhile, there are some better places to go. As I said, with namely India, that's a shocker. Okay, USD China. 1 month view. Look at these big steep declines. So this could have been a really good one for that. Here the last reversal, April 1st, 2018, priced at around, let's say, 624, peaked at 720 in September 2019. Again, you get much better returns, you know where. That's why I do it. This has been a really good coin as well, or a pair. USD Hungary, very, very solid. Good steady rally up until, we'll start it here early September, flattened out, decline. May go into another reversal. It's tough to say, but it's interesting for that currency in Hungary. But look at that solid rally, the strength of the overall economy of Hungary. Very few, if any currencies can provide that, which has been a steady rally from here with Hungary at 149 all the way up to 311. So that 149 you can see there, 2008, and it's doubled since. Okay, and it still moves up, still trending up, really strong. Okay, USD INR, the rupee here. Let's look at this one. So this is, again, been in an incline up until the 12th of October, flatten out. But let's look at the monthly. Same thing as Hungary. So this is where the growth is. When you look at China, okay, look how choppy it is and just how badly it's gotten. That really, when you look at here, this big decline since January 2020, that's because of the pandemic. Here, probably when you look at it, was rallying up until when Trump came to power, and it started to try to rally, it couldn't. But if they could stabilize their global with their global medicine and the global sickness, this thing will massively spike. But for now, you got India and Hungary looking good, looking good. Okay, Poland. Let's look at Poland as another potential country here. So here you can see the U.S. Poland. Not it's sort of rallying, not like spiking. Well, I shouldn't say spiking, but just better steepness in both India and Hungary. And Hungary looks like a better place to go. Let's look at USD Thai baht, the monthly view here as well. Very flat. So I don't know. If knowing all this, you would want to be in the economies from what I'm showing you that are showing really good strength. And right now, as I said, it's India and Hungary. So again, we've looked at the SPX 500, US 5-year. So now, just so you know, we're in very good. So just looking for anything different. Natural gas, another good one. Really choppy, kind of going nowhere, as we've always seen in a lot of these instruments. But look how flat it's gone, and it's starting to did spike with that inflation trade, and it dropped back off. Now, what's driving that? I'd have to look in the news, but either way, I work off of charts, so it don't matter. Now, Switzerland, I'd like to know some. I'd like to see some good things with this country. Been very flat monthly. This is important. Look how flat it's dropped. I'm sure up until its point, up until here, 07, it's just dropped and gone flat and been in decline. So that just says something about Switzerland as a whole. I don't know what more I can tell you about it. New Zealand as well. But that's probably debt levels. I'll probably putting you through that. Now here's a platinum. Again, the monthly view. Really not worth pursuing as an investment long term. That's pretty well it. As I said, if you want to know more about what I do, you can join our email list, quantlabs.net/contact. If you want to get on our chat server, learn about what I do privately more in real time, go to quantlabs.info and join there, and you got to register as well. All right, and that's anonymous and private, no tracking. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.